Shalom, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Barakah Kadash, double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings as always. Salutations to the sincere believers, the hopefully elect. Akim and Akwath, diligently laboring in his truth and all righteousness and sincerity, keeping the faith of our Lord, Yahweh Shai, until all is fulfilled and we are redeemed. So going into the economic collapse of America that's about to happen, the men of the Lord have been bringing it out according to prophecy that this place, America, which is biblically known as Babylon the Great, this place is going to fall. But part of that fall is an economic collapse because we know right now we're in the midst of this great reset in which they're going to reset the whole system, basically crash this thing. Because see, basically what they're doing is they just keep printing money, sending money, all this, printed funds overseas to different wars and arms packages and all this different stuff that they're doing. Mind you, this is money that America doesn't have. They're in what is it now, like a $33 trillion deficit, but they still continue to print money. Every 30 days, the debt grows by $1 trillion. So you can't tell me that this is deliberately being done so that this system can crash. Everything around you is getting higher and higher, and it's because there's too much money in circulation in America. All right, and also foreign nations, they getting away from the dollar. They not really dealing with the U.S. dollar no more because America, they the bully, have been the bully on the block that pretty much has enforced the might of the U.S. dollar through the military. See, now what's happening is that the BRICS is getting together. BRICS is getting together. They getting stronger, and especially those oil-rich nations that are in the so-called Middle East, they're getting away from the U.S. dollar. So this is why you're seeing gas go up. Attacks are being made on the infrastructure. Farms are being attacked, So this collapse is imminent. This thing is going to happen any day now. The more money they continue to print, the more that the money will be worth less. You understand? Salakia. The more that the money will be worth less. And, as we speak, they've actually put reports out there that have confirmed that people that have certain banks, really these major banks, they're going to be denied cash withdrawal coming very soon. So people are not going to be allowed to go to the bank and withdraw their money. Understand? Also, more banks are closing down. The FDIC, they're clamping down on, people's accounts and things of that nature. So there's a lot going on. But the point is, America's done. The fashion of this world is passing away. So we're going to check out this video by Michael Bordenaro. We ain't going to watch all of it, but just a small portion just to get a few points. Grab 2 articles and some precepts, and we're going to close out. Let's go.
Then. Not too great, I'm assuming. And one thing I hear in the comments a lot is people are saying like, oh, all the stores and restaurants near where I live are still full. It's still slammed. Well, think about this. Number one, if you live in like a very touristy area like I do, it doesn't really mean anything because people are coming from all over the world to spend money in those places. But let's assume for a second that you live in a normal area, a regular town in the Midwest or whatever. How many of those people that are out spending that money actually have that money to spend? Or are they borrowing that money to keep fueling a lifestyle that they got used to during the pandemic? Because
And that's a major thing that's going on right now. A lot of people, this is why credit card debt is at an all-time high, because people just don't have the money to pay for things outright. I'm seeing a lot of people now actually finance meals and groceries, even gas. This is how broke that people are. But you see, Americans are so proud, and that goes into Second Ezra 8 and 50, where it speaks about Many great miseries shall befall those that dwell in the latter times, because they have walked in great pride. The pride and ego of these people, they have to make it look good. You see, even though they broke as hell, they can barely put gas in their car, barely afford groceries. They can barely afford a roof over their head. Why do you think homelessness now is at an all-time high in these major cities? Because people don't have no money. You see, but the people that don't have money, they out here trying to make it look like they got money so they can put on a facade for other people. But see, all this BS that's going on is all about to dry up, because the American dollar is done. The American dollar is about to be like how the Venezuelan Bolivar is, you know. And if you don't know what's happened to the Venezuelan Bolivar, Google it. People are actually making items to sell out of the money. I'm talking like they using the money to make toy monkeys and ropes and things of that nature, and they selling it because other currencies are worth more than theirs. Their currency is pretty much done. So this is where the American dollar is headed. But people have this thing also called a normalcy bias, to where because things have been away, have been a certain way for so long, they think that things would never get bad. That's why Michael Bordenero said, yeah, well, people are saying, well, I'm not seeing any economic disparity in my area. People are, regularly shopping, driving nice cars, buying new cars, this, that, the third, buying clothes and stuff like that. So I don't see what you're talking about, but it's really all a facade, man. Because believe you me, I see it every day. These people out here is hurting, you see, like it's really to the point where they willing to do anything to get some money. But let's continue.
Don't forget, for a while there, people were getting paid more money to stay at home and not work than they did at work, and got used to a certain level of comfort and a certain level of lifestyle that people are still trying to hang on to now that, we're getting hit with reality.
And one more thing, rather than live humbly and just be satisfied with having a roof over your head, and, because really, you really shouldn't even be worried about living a lavish, luxurious lifestyle. Like as long as you got a roof over your head, you got a bed to sleep in, your place is comfortable, you can take a shower, wash your ass, and cook your food. That's really all you need. You see, but these people, they want all the latest luxuries, and they want to have the washer and dryer inside the apartment. They want to have heated floors, and what I'm saying, all the extra amenities and stuff like that. You see, but what people are finding out is that the lifestyle they want, they can't afford it no more, because the price of everything around them is going up, and their wages, what they're getting paid, is not. So but rather than downsize and just live comfortably, they want to have this image kept up to keep up with the Joneses. You see what I'm saying? But it's all about the backfire. You know what I'm saying? It is backfiring. Let's continue.
Again, people have to work for the money, and they have to borrow the difference that they don't have in order to continue fueling that lifestyle. So things are not always as they appear, guys. Just because it looks like people are doing well and your neighbors are buying brand new cars doesn't necessarily mean that they are doing well. We saw a lot of this bubble type of behavior right before the GFC, where a lot of people looked to be rich, but they were spending money they didn't have either. It was easy to borrow money against your ever-increasing home, which seemed like the bottomless piggy bank, which was proven not to be true, and it will be proven not to be true again this time around. But this creates big problems for the Fed, guys, because the Fed has been doing nothing but talking about how they're going to be lowering interest rates this year. If consumer spending were to weaken considerably, that would be a blow to the economy. And a slowdown in spending could in turn further complicate the Fed's thinking on where interest rates go next. Well, to me, if spending slows down enough, the Fed's probably going to do what they always do, and they're going to lower interest rates. But the problem with that is we already have inflation that is way too high, and they're just going to make inflation even worse. And guess what, guys? Things are not going in the direction that they want it to go, because the Atlanta Fed projected that the GDP was going to grow at 2.7% during the first 3 months of 2024, which would be cooler than expected, okay? What they say would still be solid. But guess what? The real numbers just came out, and it is far worse than they actually expected. The real GDP growth was only 1.6% in the first quarter. So think about that. They were projecting 2.7, it's only 1.6, and the 2.7 number they were expecting was actually lower than they want it to be. So imagine what this is going to do now. You know, what's happening is everybody's getting the wake-up call now, and these companies and the Fed and the government is starting to realize that people really don't have the money. Like I've been saying and other people have been saying here on YouTube, it's true. It's not fake. I saw several comments in my video the other day about the home insurance prices in Florida, and I don't know how many comments I saw, people saying, oh, you're lying, these numbers are fake, this is BS. Like, okay guys, those numbers I showed in that video are real insurance quotes from a real insurance agent here in Florida. It doesn't get any more authentic than that. Somebody who...
And you see how people are so cognitively dissonant, like how willfully ignorant that they are. You can show a person the stats and the facts in their face. Okay, you can even have a person on the phone from the said insurance agency, and they'll still say, oh no, that's not right, that can't be, that's outrageous. But the whole time, do you not see what's going on? Like, are you not paying attention that the price of everything is exorbitantly high, that these corporations, they graping the average American, man, down to the lint in your pocket? Like, they cleaning you out. But when a person comes out and tells you, hey, look, they're lying to you, and they've been lying to you, just like how they said what was that? I think it was 2021. They said what? Inflation is transitory, meaning that, yeah, like we're gonna have a period of inflation, but it's gonna go back down. Has inflation gone down or has it gone up since 2021? You tell me. I mean, we're both living in the same economy, right? So if we can all observe the same thing, and everyone's shared experience can confirm that it's true, why why is it that some people, despite the facts, they just don't want to believe it? And ultimately it's because they have romanticized America as the land of milk and honey in their minds, so they can't process the fact that this place is falling. That's really what it comes down to. They can't accept the fact that America is a sinking ship. Okay, despite all the reports coming out, despite all of the warnings, all the articles that are being written, the videos that are being made, people are still willfully ignorant. But you know what? That's to their own destruction, man, because America gonna fall whether you like it or not, because it's prophesied for this place to fall. Understand? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is bringing destruction to America, Babylon the Great. And it's nothing that anyone can do about it. It tells you in Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, that Babylon cannot be healed, that there's no ointment to be applied to this place to bring it back to its former glory. You see, there was a time, there was a time when America had its peak, and now we're at the low end. Okay, now we're in a rapid decline of America. You see, and the whole world is feeling it. Because really the only thing that's keeping America afloat right now is the fact that the dollar, as it is right now, is the world reserve currency. But it's not going to be that way for too much longer, because like I said, the BRICS, they're removing themselves from this American-led hegemony. All right, because in former times, America, they were able to get rich and have all this power because they went around exploiting and bullying other nations to accept their way of life, to accept their currency, their products, their way of life. But now the Most High has put a different spirit on these nations, and they're turning away from the whore. Everyone hates the whore now, man. So they like, listen, to hell with the dollar. We gonna do our own thing. And the you know what really what's happening is that there's a worldwide movement to move to CBDCs, and we're gonna get into that with the articles. But there's a worldwide push to get into CBDCs. All right, digital currencies, blockchain systems. You see, and let's go here. Let's go to this one first. Okay, let me jump up. The EU approves severe limits on cash transactions. All right, so people have stopped paying their bills. You know, people have even stopped paying taxes. You see, and that's a subtle form of rebellion, but the seditions among men are going to get greater and more profound as time goes on. Okay, so the EU and soon to be America as well, they're limiting the amount of cash that people can withdraw from their accounts. The ban comes in the name of crime prevention, but critics say it will harm ordinary citizens. And of course, because if you can't use cash, that removes your ability to remain anonymous when you're buying and selling. See, this new system that they want to that they're gonna put in place, everything is gonna be tracked and traced, monitored. You see, even your very bank account, it's not gonna be your personal bank account. It's gonna belong to the centralized government. So you already know they can cut you off at any time that they want. This is the power that they want to have over the people. In pretty much every nation around the earth, they are going to have their own version of a CBDC, a digital currency. So, Salakia, the European Parliament has approved a directive that will severely limit the use of cash. Under the directive, ostensibly aimed at curbing money laundering and the funding of terrorism, these are the reasons that they're giving as to why they want to curtail the use of physical money. They're putting it out there as if this is a convenience to the citizen, but it's really only a convenience to the corporations and the central government because they're going to have all the control and they're going to be able to dictate what's going to be what in this new system. You see, the ordinary citizens, they're not going to have a say so, and that goes into what Revelation 13 and 16. None might buy or sell save either had the mark, because this is all leading to the MOT to the B. The groundwork is being laid for the MOTB to be brought forth, and we're seeing this, man. Okay, this is how close that we are to the end of this wicked ass kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Esau really about to push that 2030 agenda to right now. Anonymous cash payments over 3,000 euros will be banned in commercial transactions. You see that? So you can't, basically, let's say that you wanted to buy a car and the car costs 15,000 euros. You can't use cash to buy that car. You have to use a digital form of payment, because if you walk into the bank and you can pay for that car in cash outright, they're not going to accept it, because they're not going to allow you to, take that cash out. Probably they won't even let you write a check for that. You see, they're going to tell you no, you have to use a digital payment. Will be banned in commercial transactions. In business transactions, cash payments over 10,000 euros will be completely banned. Anonymous payments in cryptocurrencies will also be completely banned. So what is this about? Notice how they're attacking the anonymity of the payment. Okay, so they if you're gonna buy something, they want to know exactly who's buying it, where you buying it, what time you bought it, how much you spent on it, all that. With cash, they can't track that. So this is a surveillance state that's being set up here. All right, that's clear to see. Reading on, under the guise of combating money laundering, you are actually waging a war against cash, which has protected our financial privacy since time immemorial, said German Pirate Party MEP Patrick Breyer, one of the few opponents of the measure during the plenary session. This is a quote. You want to force our finances into traceable and increasingly shaky banking systems that can block our cards and accounts at any time and introduce negative interest rates. So this is what it's all about. And people understand this, okay? People well see what's going on, but then again, you have a lot of people, regardless of, what this is all about, they're going to accept it anyway because, number one, a lot of people aren't paying attention to this. And when it is presented to them, it's going to be presented out of a chaotic scenario. So, when Esau do come with this new system, people are against it now. But when he bring that chaos on the earth through the power of the left hand, and he brings this and says, hey, all this can go away. Just take the MOT to the B. People gonna line up and they gonna take it. So everybody, man, this hour of temptation is coming upon the earth, and the devil is bringing it. Yahweh Bashmel Shai is bringing it. It says we will live to regret it. I tell you, anyone who tampers with cash is tampering with our financial freedom. And to us pirates, there is no doubt that the finances of honest citizens is none of your business. Hands off our cash, our digital currencies. We say no to this. We say no to this creeping financial disenfranchisement. Blah blah. So they really about to push this thing hardcore. You see, but this is that great reset. Also here, this article from Planet Today says banks warn collapse of dollar system near as elite prepare for introduction of CBDCs. Let's get a little bit of this. Several top banks in America have warned that the imminent collapse of the U.S. dollar will make way for the creation of a CBDC system that will allow the elite to track and control what Americans buy. It says here, World Reserve status allows for amazing latitude in terms of monetary policy. The Federal Reserve understands that there is constant demand for dollars overseas as a means to more easily import and export goods. The dollar's petro status also makes it essential for trading oil globally. This means that the central bank of the U.S. has been able to create fiat currency from thin air to a far higher degree than any other central bank on the planet, while avoiding the immediate effects of hyperinflation. Yeah, so that World Reserve currency status, that was able to shield America from hyperinflation. You see, because Japan couldn't just print trillions of dollars of their currency and not see hyperinflation, because that money that they print, it would only be relegated to their local economy. So hyperinflation would happen overnight if they did that. But because America's money is long worldwide, right? It's not going to directly affect America immediately. But once all these other nations drop the dollar, and pretty much all the dollars are sent back to America, and that money is not flowing out worldwide, that's when you're going to see hyperinflation, man. And this is what's coming. See, this is what this article and these reports are saying. It says much of that cash, as well as dollar denominated debt, physical and digital, ends up in the coffers of foreign central banks, international banks, and investment firms, where it is held as a hedge or used to adjust the exchange rates of other currencies for trade advantage. As much as one half of the value of all U.S. currency is estimated to be circling abroad. You see, so like I said, the dollar is circling all around the earth. Okay, so the U.S. dollar is not just relegated to America. You see, Mexico uses the U.S. dollar, Jamaica, Caribbean countries, Europe, African nations, so-called Asian nations, all around the earth. The U.S. dollar is the reserve currency. So you can use the local currency of whatever country, but the US dollar, because it's the reserve, is worth more. You see? So America, for the longest time, that's why they've been able to print all this money, because they don't, they don't have to, they understand the powers that be that they don't have to, feel the effects of it immediately. But like I said, once these other nations drop the dollar, which they're in the process of that, all the dollars that are circling abroad, they're going to come back home. And when there's too much money circling in the local supply, the money is going to become worthless. You see, I'll give this example, right? It's like, let's say that one person in a whole city has 12 pounds of gold to his name, right? He's the only one that has it. Well, guess what? If anyone wants gold, they're going to have to go to him and buy that gold. And it's going to be very valuable because it's not abundant, right? But in a situation where everyone in this city now has gold, right? It's not going to be as valuable because it's abundant. You see, when things are in abundance, there's more of a demand for it, but the supply can meet that demand. You see, when there's high demand and less of the supply, things become more valuable. So right now the American dollar, it's abundant and there's a high demand for it. You see, but very soon to come, the demand is going to be zero and the supply is going to be through the roof. You see, so the dollar is going to crash overnight like that, man. You understand? So this is the situation that people are in. And right now people think just because they got a couple thousand in their bank account, they think that they good, but not understanding that a financial collapse in the new system is on the horizon. Let's read a little bit more. It says, world reserve status along with various debt instruments allowed the U.S. government and the Fed to create tens of trillions. That's wild, yo. Tens of trillions of dollars in new currency after the 2008 credit crash, all while keeping inflation under control. The problem is that this system of stowing dollars overseas only lasts so long, and eventually the consequences of overprinting come home to roost. And the chickens are going to come home to roost when these other nations, they reject and no longer desire to use the US dollar. Okay, that's when it's going to happen. You see? Unfortunately, I suspect the time is coming soon for the US, and it may be in the form of a brand new Bretton Woods like system that removes the dollar as world reserve and replaces it with a new digital basket structure. Global banks are essentially admitting to the plan for a complete overhaul of the dollar based financial world and the creation of a CBDC centric system built on unified ledgers. Now, when they do crash this system and the banks collapse and people can't get their money, they're going to bring in or they're going to mandate the CBDC. Now, the CBDC in and of itself is not the mark. All right, that's just a digital blockchain system in which you can make payments on, But when they move to set up that CBDC, they're going to put the mark in place right after and they're going to mandate it. Now, when they mandate the chip and say you got to get this in your forehead or in your right hand, these things already exist. People already have these things, right? But they're going to mandate it and they're going to cause all to accept this thing lest you can't buy or sell. This is what John the Revelator saw on the island of Patmos. He saw the signs of the future, people taking a certain device, and if they didn't take it, they couldn't buy or sell. They could not function within the system. Now that we're at the end, these things should make sense to you now, okay? Because everything is here. All of the prophetic visions are in play right now. All right, so it's coming. The hour of temptation is upon us. Prepare yourself. All right, we're gonna close out on this Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 5. Matter of fact, verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. Haughty goes into proud, right? So the proud people of this earth, the ones that can't let go of America, the ones that gotta make it look good for the gram, you know, they gotta have the lavish lifestyle. They can't downgrade, right? These people are languishing, so they're gonna be in a state of mourning, consuming away. Verse 5: the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. So what's coming upon the earth, this hour of temptation, this is for judgment, man. Okay, this is going to be a trial, a time of trial for the elect, for the hopeful of Yahweh Basham Shai, but for the wicked, this is their time to be judged, right? Because they've broken the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Basham Shai. They don't regard Yahweh Basham Shai. Verse 6: therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry hearted do sigh. The mirth of tabrets cease. The noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the harp cease. So the good times, the times that people enjoy when America was the land of milk and honey. Like if you was an immigrant, you came to America in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like you was living it up. Like that's when America was prosperous and that American dream was still real. But living in today's time, it ain't no American dream no more. Like you look at these cities, the homeless population in these cities are crazy, man. People are getting evicted, can't pay their rent, can't afford basic necessities more and more every day. This is what you're having occur. Then these politicians, they're purposely tanking their local economies, bringing in migrants over the border, giving them stipends and thousands of dollars on a card. Mind you, taxpayer money, which that's also devaluing the dollar even more. Theft and crime is at an all-time high. You see, nations are moving away from the dollar. So everything is ripe for destruction. Everything is ripe for America to be taken down. Let's say if Yahweh Basham Shai, right? Yeah, but the mirth of tabrets cease, man. These people are in a state of mourning right now, but they really ain't seen nothing yet. What Yahweh Basham Shai has prepared for America is going to be unprecedented. Verse 9: they shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down, which is America, Babylon, right? Every house is shut up that no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. That's the point. The mirth of the land is going to be gone, man. All right? And before they bring in the MOT to the B, Esau, he going to make sure that the mirth of the land is gone, because he wants you in a position of destitution. See, he wants you in a position of desperation, so that when you're looking, when your stomach is touching your back, when your eyeballs is popping out your head and you ain't nothing but skin and bone, this nigga gonna come and offer you ultimatum. Take my mark, take my solution, and come with me, and I'm gonna take care of you. But you gonna have to worship the devil. You know what I'm saying? Or you can be left to your own devices and just starve out and die. That's the situation that people are gonna be faced with. And 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, the wicked, they gonna choose to go with the devil, because they gonna seek comfort in this world, because they are of the flesh, they're of this world. You see? But those that are of Yahweh Basham Shai, we walk in the spirit. We not looking for salvation in this world, because we understand that really there is no salvation in this world. We understand that our only salvation is going to come from the Lord, and that us keeping our faith and building up our faith each and every day, and actually being convinced wholeheartedly that the Lord is going to take care of us, that's going to be our saving grace. So with that, I'm going to close out here. In closing, call halal, Yahweh Basham Shai, Basham Rakah Kadash. And until next time, Lord willing, Shalom to the elect.